Hello friends, a couple of months ago I made a quick video about this pen with the nib that I have in it. Still going strong, still loving it. This is the stacked nib from Incision Works. You can see that extra layer of nib on the top there, which is welded to create a big surface area of tipping. I said these are Chinese made. They're made by Jinhao. And Daniel tunes them and makes them work for Yovo housing, and so you can put them on your regular Yovo fountain pens. In that video, I said I was going to order another one, and I did. One from AliExpress because I want to see how they differed, and I got this one. So this is described in the listing as a double layer 3mm long knife nib. Now I've got a couple of long knife nibs. They're brilliant. And I thought I was ordering it on a black pen, but I did get it on this interesting rose gold champagne-y sort of colored one. But it was always going to go onto this purple 159, which is one of my favorites. But you just don't see it as much anymore. I have the sheet I did originally here with the Incision Works tuned and fixed up Jinhao stacked nib. So I thought I'd just continue writing along underneath it with this sort of Chinese AliExpress version. So we have the double layer 3mm long knife nib. That's laying down a lot of ink. We get very, very broad cross strokes on this one and quite nice downstrokes. Lots of big swatches of ink possible here. One thing I will say about this particular nib is that it's taken me a while, as you can see there, to get used to the angle it has to sit. Like if you look at this nib up close, you'll see like that is quite a strong angle that you've sort of got to sit it on. But what you can't see in this camera, and I'll show it in another image. Firstly, you'll see the X or the cross of the, where the double layer nibs sort of meet. But you'll see in this particular one, there's like quite a bit of like a canyon at the top of the nib there. And I think that manifests itself in the writing when, if I go to write at that higher angle, it doesn't always sort of want to write first up. So it's like, it's kind of acting a bit like, a baby's bottom would on a regular nib where the ink is just not making initial contact or like good contact with the page. Also, you have to line that angle up really carefully on this one, more so than on the one that was tuned and done up by Incision Works. I'll put them up here next to each other so we can see them together. So you can see, firstly, the angle is very different, but also it's more it's a harsher angle on the AliExpress or the one on the Jinhao here. So like, yes, we do get rather lovely, big, thick cross strokes. I think still enough ink in this one. But it's also nowhere near as smooth as the Incision Works nib. But you are putting down a lot of ink. So like that looks to me like a little more than a 2mm line. That's kind of like that 3mm line. So yeah, it's huge. This also comes in a 4mm, which would be ridiculous. But this is, by the way, I should say, this is diamine. See, there you go. There's that sort of, that little, maybe you will be able to see it. I'm not exactly sure. There's like just this little gap at the top of the nib. This is diamine. Imperial purple. Oof, so much ink. Very pretty. Yes, so like they do have a place. Obviously, it's nice to play with these and to, make fun sort of swatches of ink and show off the ink. We're seeing great shading and sheen and all those sorts of things because it's laying down so much. But it's also good for like different lettering styles and calligraphy. And I think everyone who holds these pens will hold them slightly differently and get a slightly different performance. That's amplified on this larger one, where if you don't get it like perfectly on the page, you might end up sort of with a bit of skipping and stuff. But I think it's still fun. it's still fun. But yeah, great for certain, lettering styles and calligraphy, as well as, people want big, bold statements on the page, and also artwork. I've been using this one quite a lot, doing little sketches and things, and because it's great because you do have that, as I showed in the previous video, I think, like the different, much more control of the line variation. So, if you're doing little, sketch of, whatever, you can sort of create that and then fill in all the space that you want to, and it's wonderful. So yeah, that's what I've been using them for. I enjoy them, and I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, and please consider becoming a member of this channel, where for a small monthly fee, you'll get early access to my videos, as well as things like, priority comments and messaging and that kind of thing. By the way, I'll also say here, I just wanted to explain this. I often show things from AliExpress on this channel. I don't always include the direct link to the product in the video description, and that is simply because those links change. As sellers change things, as the products change, as the listings change, the website or the link disappears. And I got a lot of comments early on that the link was no longer active. So I just don't put the AliExpress links there anymore. But I do give you as much information as I can to help you find the product. So I say double layer 3mm long knife nib. That's what I search, or that's what the product was listed as. I think I searched stacked fountain pen nib, gin house stacked fountain pen nib, that kind of thing. And this is the listing that I got, and that's what I purchased here. Is this nib perfect? Well, no, it's clearly not. It's got that sort of big opening at the top, and I can't imagine that being intentional, but when you line it up on the page, it's sensational. So yes, thank you for watching. Enjoy your nibs, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.